We are here with our special guest, Jason Furman. He was a machine gunner in the Marine Corps.
He joined the Marine Corps in 2003, went to basic training in 2004 as an infantryman, and then he was designated a 0331 machine gunner after training.
We're trying to teach the young generation of what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why do we have our freedom? Do they teach that? Do they let them know? These men and women that sacrificed?
Iraq the first time, and there was a place right outside of Baghdad, Camp Ashraf, and our mission there was to do quick reaction force. Basically, hey, something happens, we need people out there really quick, kind of help out with the situation. And I have other friends that go, hey, remember when we were in Iraq? I kind of hope you were there now. Knowing that it was a place of danger, you still want to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Because then I felt like I had purpose.
Welcome to Johnny Girls Podcast. Here with me is Lee and Emma, and we are here with our special guest, Jason Furman. And as our special guest, he was a machine gunner in the Marine Corps.
We're having him on in honor of 0331 Day, which is all about machine gunners, and he was a machine gunner. He joined the Marine Corps in 2003, went to basic training in 2004 as an infantryman, and then he was designated a 0331 machine gunner after training.
He was stationed in Camp Lejeune with the Anti-Terrorism Battalion and deployed with them in 2005 to a base in Iraq. He deployed a second time in 2006 to 2008 in a personal security detachment mission. He discharged from active duty in 2008 and joined the Marine Corps Reserves a few months later with the Bravo Company 225 in Picatinny Arsenal, and did this until 2011. In 2012, he joined the Army National Guard as an 11B, stationed with the unit in Jersey City. In 2013, he joined the Army Reserves with the 78th Training Division in Fort Dix as an Operations NCO, where he evaluated units deploying, and discharged in 2016 after 12 years. Thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it. Thank
We're
you so much.
excited.
This is awesome. Good weather for it, right? So
Yes.
it's good. I was kind of worried. Hey, I have to make sure I dress up well and not be cold. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Thanks for
coming.
coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
We want to learn a little bit about you.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. Well,
It's quite a bio,
no, I appreciate it. Thank you. I try to do the best I can as giving you a little bit of information. But grew up in Newark, New Jersey. High school, I was, one of those basic kids in high school, and I didn't really take school that serious, and I was very content being the C+ type of average student. 9/11 happened. 9/11 happened when I was in my sophomore year, and I told myself, hey, maybe this is something I want to do. I want to be able to serve. My uncle is a Marine. I have two other cousins from my mother's side that are Marines as well. That was during Desert Storm time, and so when 9/11 happened, that kind of really pushed me. So my junior year, I signed up. And I couldn't go to boot camp until, I graduated from the senior year.
Yeah.
And so I had the summer off, and then I went right in September. So I was 17.
Wow.
Turned 18 in boot camp.
Okay.
Wow.
So I got those pictures. You should see these pictures I got with these big glasses. Hilarious. I'll show it to you afterwards. But so did that, right? Did through the basic training. Went to the infantry school, became a machine gunner. And why did I pick machine gun? Because, you had your choices of first, second, third choice of what kind of MOS you want to do as far as infantry. Machine gun just appealed to me. It was these big guns that you could shoot a lot of ammo. It took some kind of grit and some strength to be able to carry them. So that appealed to me. So I did that. Went to Lejeune, Camp Lejeune was stationed. Was there training, and they said, hey, we're going to be deploying. So I went deployed to Iraq the first time, and there was a place right outside of Baghdad, Camp Ashraf, and our mission there was to do quick reaction force. Basically, hey, something happens, we need people out there really quick, kind of help out with the situation. Did also some patrolling, right? So we kind of just drive around and I guess kind of looking for trouble a little bit and kind of deter, right? And be a little bit proactive. So we did that. And that was, 7 months or so. Got back, had some more time at home, and then deployed again. And that one was from 2006. So December 2006, I got back in February 2008. So
Oh,
a
wow.
little bit over a
It's a long
year.
one.
Yeah.
So you were
yeah.
home for how
Time.
long before you got deployed again?
Probably be, I think I got back in October of '05 from the first one, and then I deployed, again in December of '06. So a little bit over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did that and, came back from that deployment. Again, PSD, so that's like bodyguards, let's say like a motorcade of bodyguards for generals. They got to go do their business throughout the area. So we take them and we're there to protect them.
Right.
Essentially, right? Got back from that, went back to Lejeune and finished out my time there, right? Helping out with trainings and things like that. So I got out and then I was like, hey, so what am I going to do? Right? It was September of 2008. I was like,
How
I got
old
no.
were you?
I was, I was 22. Maybe I was about to be turning 22.
Okay.
I think I was 21 in this. Okay, yeah. So I didn't turn 22 yet. I needed a job, right? So I decided to go to school, use my GI Bill, go to school, and school wasn't the best for me either because I was never, like I said, I never was a good student.
Yeah.
And I tried my hand at college, taking some classes, dropping some classes, failing some classes, and then I got the itch, and I was like, hey, I can't, So then a couple of months later, like I said, after September, I think in about December, I ended up joining that inactive reserve time. I spent that time being a drilling reservist. Again, that was in with the Gulf Company 225 out of Picatinny.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are not aware that there's a unit back there, but it's an infantry unit that's in an Army base, essentially, here in New Jersey. So did that, just helping out with trainings and things like that, right? We went to Africa during that time,
Oh,
which was
wow.
pretty cool. Did a bunch of different trainings. Did that, and then again, finished that time, got the itch again, joined the Army National Guard. Did it for a year contract because I just wanted to feel it out. As an 11 Bravo, which is infantry again, right? So that just allowed me to just go right into the job and not have to do another job and train.
Right.
Because it's already the same type of stuff. That was okay. Wasn't the same like the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So then I got out of that, and then again, couple months later, I then joined the Army Reserves. And that was out of Fort Dix, and that was the 78 Training Division, and that unit is specifically evaluations, right? So units are about to deploy. They go through our, I guess, gauntlet of different training exercises that we have, and based on that, we can give a commander like the check yes or no, like they're ready to go, or they need these type of skills to hone up on.
Okay.
Did that for 3 years.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So that was good times, but it wasn't the Marine Corps. And not to push shade on Army, but I felt in those 12 years that I was chasing the feeling I had when I first came in. And the reason why I got out of 12 was because I felt like whatever I got out of it, I got out of it.
There was nothing left there.
It was still there, the passion, but it's just whatever I got out of the Marine Corps or the military, I got out of it, and I just needed to move on and do something else instead of trying to chase this dream.
Get it.
Yeah.
Chase that.
Chase something that I didn't get in the beginning. And I'm trying to like make up for it now, right? And I'm getting older, and I'm getting more lazy, and I'm not the same shape like I used to be. So it was just not working out for me. So I got out of 12 years, and
Okay.
but how do I keep myself engaged, right? There's a bunch of different veteran programs.
Sure. A lot to do.
Yeah, just like, for example, the Basilone Memorial Foundation, right? There's a lot of things out there with military and veterans and how you can get involved and put your time into, and that's how I get my fix out of it, right?
Fix, yes.
Right, you get your fix, to help other veterans to at least get some knowledge about things that you did well and things that you didn't do so well, right? So they can learn from it. And, on a selfish point, it's like I want to still be around military. I want to be around Marines and talk about this stuff, right? And past stories and things like that. So, that's pretty much everything in a nutshell there as far as my military stuff. But like I said, I'm still doing things here whenever I can to give back to military or veterans overall, and I wouldn't give it up for the world. So
you've got some similarities with Uncle Johnny because you were machine gunner.
Yeah.
And then you're reversed. So he did Army first and then Marine Corps. And they say that it's because he didn't have like that that drive for, like a normal job.
Right.
Because during that time when he got out of the Army, he lived with my great grandmother in Maryland. And his dad was like, you need to do something. So go work with like your sister's husband. So he did that for a couple months and he was like, I don't like this. And then there is when he joined the Marine Corps. So
Wow.
he was searching similar.
He was
I guess
feeling
you
it.
have,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
feeling.
that feeling. It's like it's
Yep.
a feeling of, my thing is when I was deployed, you had that was the one time in my life to say that I had a feeling of like purpose,
Right.
right? I had something I had to do that someone depended me on. And I feel like I've been chasing that ever since, right? I do a lot of other things, right? But I never got that same feeling there.
Right.
To the point where, and I have other friends that go, hey, you remember when we were in Iraq? I kind of hope you were there now, right? Knowing that it was a place of danger,
Yeah.
you still want to be there,
Yeah.
right? Because then, like I felt like I had purpose.
Which is also similar to Uncle Johnny.
Yes. I can
Because
imagine.
when he came back from Guadalcanal, they made him do the war bond tour. He was like, I don't want to do this. I
did
want to go
not
back.
like
I want to
doing
go back.
it.
I want to go back. Then
not
they
like
finally
that.
let him go back.
Yeah.
But it was because he wanted to be over there with his guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
that's-
sense of purpose.
You have that sense of purpose, and it's like once you have it, you try to chase it, and it's
Yes.
like you can't.
It's so weird because
Yeah.
I finally found my purpose. I've had all different types of jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, it's just something's not fulfilling me. I don't. And then when the Basilone Memorial Foundation came about, it's like, there it is.
There it is.
There was my
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
And you feel good.
You feel good.
about
Yeah.
it.
and you put 100
and then
percent
you
into
put your
it.
yes.
Yes, right, and you can't let it falter, and you want to make
Right.
sure it builds up. And,
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I found my purpose.
that's great. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Also, if you don't mind, I just like to say that being here and being with you all that are related to John, and that's like he's like the holy grail in the sense of machine gunners and Marines. So it's very like it's a good feeling to be
Good.
amongst this and all the things that all the accomplishments he's done, right, and all the appreciation that he has here in town and from everybody across the world, right?
That's what we're trying
They
to
do
keep
things everywhere.
going. That's our
Yeah.
purpose.
No, that's awesome
Yeah.
because he
Keep the
gave a
legacy.
lot, right? He
Yeah.
gave a lot. The family sacrificed a lot, and he paved the way for those other Marines to do all the stuff that they've done. And we see all the other Marines that have gotten Medal of Honors or Navy Crosses, right? So, and that's another thing people don't realize that, like he's got the Navy Cross as
Yeah.
well, right? So
Right.
it's like it's top tier stuff, right? And if you could just like kind of bottle up all the stuff that he does and like give that out to the world of like the youth and things like that to kind of go for your dreams and work on the stuff that you really want to do. I mean, this world would be so much different,
Yeah.
right?
It sure would. We got to start with the young generation.
Yeah, the young generation,
That's
yeah.
where we got to start.
Exactly.
And,
So
yeah.
that's
You're involved with that though, right? With the young Marines?
Yeah. So the Young Marines, that's an organization that started. So you're familiar with the Marine Corps League. So the Marine Corps League, when they started in the 40s, shortly after, a couple of years later, I don't know the exact date, but they started the youth side of it. And it was supposed to be in conjunction with the Marine Corps League units or detachments. And it was a way for those veterans to kind of
Find their purpose.
Yeah, put their the experiences to the youth so that they can learn again, right? And that program's been going well for a very long time. So we have a unit here in we have 2 units in New Jersey. We had 3. There was one in South Jersey, but North Jersey Young Marines, we kind of operate out of like the Middlesex County area.
Okay, got it.
And then there's a Union City Young Marines, and they're school based. So it's all their kids from the school kind of do that, right? So in that program, it's just like, they got to go through recruit training.
Okay.
Yeah, they do the drilling and they do the, they call the commands and they do the PT test and all that stuff. And, and then they go up in ranks. They go up in ranks and they get ribbons and they do great stuff.
What does that age start at? Like
That's from 8 years old to 18.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so
awesome.
as young as 8 years old, which is
That's-
unique.
yeah,
because it's one of the programs that start that young. There's a lot of there's other programs, but I don't think many start that young
Not
at
that
8 years
young.
old.
Do you get a lot of 8-year-olds?
Yeah, we get some 8-year. Most of them are on the lower end, so anywhere between like 8 and 12 is most of our kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Well,
And-
how old was the kids that started the parade? Like, what was
They
their
were
age?
in second grade.
Second
8
grade.
years old. Yeah.
they started the parade.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
You want to tell the story? Somebody?
Go ahead. Since
Go
you're
on,
from
yeah.
Meriden.
So what our Mayor Liptak, she was a second grade teacher at John F. Kennedy, which is right down the street in Raritan. And they had done the John Basilone Parade back when he first came back, and he was here for it. It was in Dukes, right? And so years later, Mayor Liptak, her second grade class I think they did a
They had
project.
a class trip.
Yeah, they
had a class trip that they were going to come walk down to
Yeah.
Raritan to the statue.
And they had the idea, why don't we start this parade? So that's where kind of this
Wow. And
parade
it's been going
came
ever
to be
since.
again, and it's
Yeah,
been going ever since. Yeah.
We had her on. So
Yeah.
you guys
Yes.
are curious, go watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
did
had her
you?
on.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta check that out. Yeah,
and the
yeah.
boy's name,
Yeah.
that was the one that started it and said, they really should do a parade for him. He looks like Rambo, right? They were comparing him
Yeah,
to
they
Rambo.
said that the statue
Yes.
looked like
and
Rambo.
his name was Johnny.
Oh, really?
No, it
Wow.
was Kenny. It was Kenny.
Oh, I thought it was Johnny.
No, it's Kenny.
Oh,
Kenny?
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout
wow.
out to Kenny.
But it's so funny, like for the years, like who you have to compare to John Basilone. Like
Yeah.
at that time, it was Rambo.
Yeah.
You know,
Rambo.
it's
Yeah,
funny
Rambo.
how
No,
through the
that's
years
what I
it's
say with the
different
statue because of
You
the
say
hair.
Rambo? Yeah.
Yes.
And, just him
Yeah.
holding. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Definitely Rambo.
Yeah.
So funny.
See, now that kind of brings it up. Like, I wonder who Rambo, that fictional character, was actually.
Is based off
Based-
of?
Yeah, who
Yeah.
is it? Do we know that? No.
No.
I don't know.
I wonder.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Well, we
look
always
That would
like
be
to
a great-
ask too,
yeah.
like, what was your first experience with John Basilone's story? Like, how you came to learn about
Yeah,
him?
so I know we got it in basic training. That's part of the history.
Yeah. They learn it.
We got it there. It has to be sometime, after I became a machine gunner and I got to my unit, and that was just a big thing, right? It was Basilone, because he was like I said, he's a Medal of Honor recipient. He's a machine gunner, and it's obviously a small group. The Marine Corps is small overall, right? And then you kind of break it down to just machine gunners.
MOSs.
It's even smaller, right?
Smaller.
So you kind of try to find anything to kind of relate and link yourself to other people, especially someone of that caliber. And I remember, it being John Basilone, him coming up. And then obviously as years go on, you start to
learn
hear
more.
about it.
Yeah.
I heard more about John Basilone after I was already out of the Marine Corps
Okay.
than in, right? Because, you had like the show, The Pacific came out, and you just hear World War II, Japan and things like that. You think about those type of things, and it just comes up, right? It's just cool. I don't know how else to say it, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of machine gunners and just Marines itself just understand that whole thing, like they have a connection to it,
Like a
right?
bond.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
bond to it, right? And it's very
Yeah.
cool, and even better, right? So New Jersey,
Yeah.
New Jersey tied.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, right? You like being in the military. Obviously, you got people from all over the country,
Right.
and you try to find those that are like, hey, you're from New Jersey. You're from New Jersey. You kind of find people that are connected to you in some way, and that could be the state, right? And again, to have someone of that caliber coming from New Jersey, machine gunner, it sounds like, to me, it was like, oh, it's kind of like me.
Yeah.
I
Right.
felt that, like
Right.
that. If he could do that coming from Jersey during that time, what could I do, right?
Yeah.
I can,
Right
I
now,
can,
yeah.
I can try to emulate that, or try to, be to that level, like, sacrifice and mission and wanting to fight and be with your people,
Yeah.
right? Which is obviously what he wanted to do.
And that's
Right,
what
so-
Mayor Liptak was trying to say to like her students, that like he's a normal boy. Like he
Right.
was
Yeah.
just like them, rambunctious, like energetic. Like
Yeah.
they can be just like him too. Like he was just a normal boy
Right.
from
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I guess
Jersey
that's
boy.
Yeah. And like I said,
that
it
helps you guys
takes,
relate.
right? Because if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he got his Medal of Honor first. I mean, no, I'm sorry. He got the Navy Cross first, and then he wanted to go back.
It was Medal of Honor first.
First Medal of Honor
Right.
first, and then he got a
Yeah.
day after.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
he got the Navy Cross. I want to say posthumously.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Oh, okay, posthumously, okay.
Because
okay.
when he died on Iwo Jima,
Right.
they
On
gave it to him. Then
From there,
from
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because he the first day that he
But
was
what
there.
but what I'm saying is to think that you got the Medal of Honor
Yeah.
and you still want to go.
To go.
That's like the
And
highest
you hit-
honor.
He was
yeah.
with movie
You know.
stars,
Hit the jackpot.
traveling
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got the Medal of Honor. You're
Yeah.
here.
You don't
Yeah.
need
You're
to
good.
serve anymore.
good.
Yeah. He
You're
could
like-
have finished out his contract just doing the
Right.
war bond tour.
Like,
Like
They
eating
roll out the
food.
red carpet for you
Yeah.
at that level.
Yeah.
And he said,
Exactly.
nah, I'm
He
good.
said, "No, thanks."
I'm going to go
Yeah.
back. And I can imagine his wife and everybody just being upset. right?
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
like the family and
Yeah.
stuff was pretty upset.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But that takes a that takes a special type of person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A completely
But I
different
think they
person.
knew what he wanted
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
and
There was
nobody
no
was
stopping
stopping
him. I think he was
Yeah.
stubborn too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was
There was no
stubborn.
stopping.
Yeah.
So, and
Military
I'm sure,
people are stubborn.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
and
can't
I'm
stop
sure
them.
like his father was very proud.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying that, not the rest of the family, but, they let him do what he has to do.
Yeah.
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 They knew what kind of kid he was.
Yeah.
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 But it's come tenfold. I mean, to know, I don't think he ever would have thought
Right.
the exposure he has now, then, right? He would never expected
No.
that now,
Right.
No.
back then, right?
We say all the
Well,
time
we-
he's
we all
rolling in
say
his
it.
grave. He probably
Yeah.
hates it.
Yeah, right. Like, stop
Say
talking
it.
about me.
Hate
Yeah,
it.
stop
Yeah.
it already. Okay.
Yeah.
You
No, it's
name
cool.
this. You
There's
name
a
that.
statue. Like,
Yeah.
leave me alone. Yeah.
You got races after him.
Yeah.
You know,
Ship.
it's like
you got the ships.
the
you
Yeah,
ships.
two.
That's
This is
huge.
the second one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
huge.
he's up there very proud.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
His Uncle
amazing.
Johnny, we're going to keep going. Sorry.
Yeah.
And you guys made now you got the podcast. Now you can't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Now everybody's here. No, that's great. No, that's
We're
awesome.
going to keep going
Yeah.
No,
as long as we can.
you got
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
That's
as
for the
long as
new.
we
That's
can.
for someone else to keep that going, right?
Right.
And people are going to
then
learn from this.
We're
Yeah.
trying to teach the young generation of what it's all about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, why do we have our freedom? Do we teach that? Do they let them know?
Mm-hmm.
These men and women that sacrificed? I don't know
Yeah.
what they're actually, teaching.
What they're
Yeah.
teaching.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they need to know that, right?
Yeah.
As
No,
far
they need to, right? Just that.
Yeah.
What takes someone to put everything aside and put away those fears to say, hey, I'm going to jump in and do this.
I'm gonna.
Right. That takes a special type of person. Like I said, it doesn't just come natural. You
No.
can't teach that.
Yeah.
No,
It's got to come from
that
within.
comes within. Yes.
It just comes natural. So,
Yes.
You got to
you know.
be somewhat inspired.
yeah.
And you had that, I guess, with 9/11, then all your family
Sure.
members.
Yeah.
9/11 just,
So 9/11 kind of changed your whole
yeah,
attitude,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Because like I said, I was in high school and I didn't think about college, right? It was, I was, like I said, C plus,
Listen, look, a
average,
C+ student, look where
whatever
it
it
made
was.
you come to.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that
I
was
appreciate
good.
that.
Yeah.
But so then it was like, hey, well, I'm not gonna go to college. I got to do something. Right? I can't be at home. My mother wouldn't allow me to do that anyways. So then it was like, hey, let's join the Marine Corps. So, and I picked the Marine Corps because, like I said, I had my cousins
Right. You
and my
had-
uncle was there, and it was always known as the top dog,
Yep.
right? It was always known as the hardest one, and I
Right.
wanted to do the hard stuff, right? So, but it's good. Like now, with my service, my nephew is in right now.
See?
Okay.
Which is building.
Yeah, he's building.
Generations.
He's in close to maybe about 4.5 years. He went to recon school,
Okay.
so he's a recon Marine, and he went to jump school, and now he's in dive
Wow.
school in
Nice.
Florida.
Wow.
So he's doing some of the hardest stuff ever, bigger stuff than I ever
Yeah.
did, and I couldn't be any more proud of him,
It's
right?
nice
So
to
it's
hear.
like,
Yeah.
that-
But it's generational.
building-
Each generation
Yes.
gets, better and better.
So he's doing
Right.
like great things, and
Yeah.
I maybe I'll show him this, but it's like I laugh because when he was a kid, he was scared of everything.
Aw.
He was one of those kids that was scared of like his own shadow.
Well,
Like
he's
he was a
come
kid
long
that like if
way.
you go to Disney World, he was scared of like the
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse like in the
And
costumes.
now he's becoming a Marine.
He was scared. He was scared of taking medicine. And my sister laugh all the time about it. Like taking medicine, he would literally shake because
But
he
look
didn't want
what
to take
you
it.
inspired him to do.
Yeah,
By
yeah, so-
what you taught him. And
So to
that's
go
what needs to be taught.
to go from that
Yeah,
to now
to
doing some of the
this,
hardest
yeah.
stuff is
Yeah.
pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool, but he's gonna do well.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
With like transferring from like military life to like civilian,
Mm-hmm.
like once you got out, how was that?
yeah, I had a little bit of rough time. I was the you would go out with friends and people would tell you, well, you look very like off-putting, right? Like intimidating.
Would you have like RBF, resting bitch
Yeah,
face?
I was kind of like the guy. Like if we went to, because I never, the thing about joining at 17, I never really got to experience life after high school. And so you didn't go to a bar or
Right.
a nightclub or something, and I was kind of like the guy that did this at
Yeah.
the corner
Yeah.
and just stood there.
So you look intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. So, and with time that got better. I got better at that. I got a little bit more social and
Open it up a
I
little
was
bit
I
more.
had to open it up because that's just part of it. You can't get far in life. You're just gonna be like this all the time, acting tough.
Well, that was your
so-
personality back
It
then.
was my personality, yeah, and it had to do with me
of what
kind
you
of
went through.
kind of in the same mindset.
Yeah.
So I had to break that out because you can't. That could be off-putting to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right. So you can
But
still
now,
have the
look
passion.
at you. You're helping the next generation. You're inspiring the younger kids.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, that's great,
That
and
should
I
make you feel really good.
and I enjoy
Yeah.
that. That's good because seeing them progress and do well.
Exactly.
It's very it's rewarding and
Right.
it feels good to see them do things that I didn't do right at that age.
Right.
So if you're doing it early, you get a head start.
Right.
Imagine what you can do once you
Like
hit
your
that
nephew.
adult,
Right.
that adult age. So he's in a good path, and
Good.
yeah. But yeah, that was kind of where I was at.
How'd you
And
get out of that?
I don't know. I would just say time.
Yeah.
As vets, a lot of us go through therapy, and I'm still dealing with this now. It's like you go to therapy for a little bit, and you talk, and then it's like you get turned off by something, and then you kind of stop the therapy for a couple of years, and then you get back into it. So I did this.
Back and forth.
Yeah. So ever since I've been out, what 10 years now, I've kind of been back and forth. with that.
Is there something that could help better than therapy? Like, is there anything else out there that, people could do or help with instead of just therapy?
Yeah.
Well, like what you're doing now.
yeah,
Isn't
that-
that better than therapy?
Absolutely.
As
Like,
far
that's my therapy, right?
Okay.
It's my engagement and
Right.
doing things, right? Using my energy to put it
Right.
into something else instead of being home and, down on myself and, the worst thing I could feel, because remember, we're going back to that, having that purpose thing. So you go
Right,
from having
right, right.
purpose to then days you get back from work and you just sit around and just watch TV all day, or you spend the whole weekend at home just watching TV. And it's like, what am I doing with
It's
myself?
sort of like retirement.
Yes. So you need to put it into something, and it helps with the therapy because again,
Yes.
you get to talk to other people, you get to listen to other vets and other people's issues,
And you may relate.
and you may relate, right?
relate,
And you kind of
yes.
you put it in perspective and go, well, I'm not that bad,
Yeah.
right? I don't have it that bad. This person has it that
Right.
bad,
Yeah.
Right.
or vice versa, right? Like, hey, if they can do it, or I got to at least try to be stronger for somebody else that might need that, right? Because you need
So that's a
an
good
outlet.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You need an outlet if you can find someone to relate to and that's been through that. That helps.
So this
Yeah.
might help people who are retiring also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to Eugene. my husband's
Oh.
retired and
Oh, he's just retired. Okay.
he hates
Yeah.
it.
He needs
Hates
purpose
it.
again.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's trying to find a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all need the purpose,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's, because we're on borrowed time. We all heard that. We're not here forever. So what are we going to do with our time here?
Right.
We have to
When
do
you're
something.
so used to doing something
Yes.
and you've been doing it
Yes.
for the past 40 some years and you've
Yeah.
been helping people and now all of a sudden it just stops. Yeah.
Just stops one day, right?
And you
So-
lose your sense of community too.
Right.
Because you
Mhm.
guys
Yeah.
are with all these guys for how long and like
Yeah.
shit. You guys are dealing with shit together.
Yeah.
So the bond is closer, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, my contract's done, so I'm done.
Yeah.
And then what?
Right.
You're like,
Different
what the heck do I do
environment,
now?
too.
You gotta do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get that itch, right? And it's like you see things going on TV, and you're like, you see people in the uniform, and you get a little jealous.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's-
a little envious.
Yeah.
And I see them in
Yeah.
uniform, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I used to wear that thing.
Yeah.
I used to do
I
that.
can't wear it now. Like I have my blues, right? So like what John's wearing in the
Yeah,
picture
the dress
behind you.
blues.
Yeah.
But I was so there's no way that going around my neck. It's not happening. It's not happening. So, but I have it there.
I think you have found a purpose. Though,
Yes.
And I think that's
Appreciate
what
it.
you have to go on now. Mm-hmm. And listen, there's things that you can help us with here.
I would
Yeah,
love
you're
Things
to.
you
full of
already
great
have,
ideas.
I
right?
would
Yeah.
love to.
I mean, there's ideas you can give us. There's things that you can help us with.
Well, absolutely. I would
Yeah.
love to. Yeah. Whatever
Yeah.
I can do to kind of, like I said, build this and make it
Sure.
right. Everybody and nationwide, he's known.
All over. It's not just Raritan, New
nationwide,
Jersey.
right? Just worldwide, and you could really blow this up
Spread
to
it
another
out.
level.
That's
Just
what we're
because
trying
people
to
need
do.
to know about who he was and where he came from, and right. I think it's important to really highlight the fact that he was just a regular kid,
Yep.
right? That was
Yeah.
right? Probably getting in trouble in school, running
Yep.
around,
Yeah. Yep.
getting yelled at
Oh,
by the
yeah.
teacher. You
He's
know,
a normal boy.
And he
Yeah.
went to Catholic school.
yeah. So I remember I went to Catholic
So
school for
those
elementary.
nuns must have been,
Yeah, back then they were probably bad.
yeah.
I went
Yeah.
to Catholic school for elementary
He
school.
probably got the stick.
And I had a teacher. There were some nuns that were teachers, and they would put you in the corner,
Yeah, sure.
and I would get my ear pulled, and you get the slap on the hand with the ruler,
Yep.
The ruler.
like
Yeah.
that type of stuff, right? So it's like, yeah, that I guess it builds character, I guess, for kids at
I
that
guess
age,
so, yeah.
right?
A little traumatizing.
Right, it's a little bit traumatizing
It depends
because
on the kid. Depends on
depends
the
on
kid.
the kid, yeah.
Yeah.
And kids,
You got to be a little tough today. I don't want to sound like, you got to beat them, but you got to be a little tough.
tough
Just a little,
love, a little tough love, yeah. You
It
got to
goes
be
a
tough.
long way.
You know.
You got to be tough because they, and today's kids are tougher to deal with because the technology
Yes.
has
Changed
put it to a
everything.
whole nother level, right? They're absorbing information at a high rate of speed, and they're confused, right?
Right.
Because you could tell them one thing, but then some TikTok person is telling
Yeah.
them something completely different that has 8,000 million whatever
Right, right.
views,
Yeah.
right? And they're the same age, right? Same peer level, so they're gonna take their advice over yours. No, they look
you're
at you, you're
right.
old, right? You're old. You don't know what you're.
Yeah.
So
They don't know yet that old means wisdom.
yeah, old
Yeah.
means wisdom,
Yeah.
and hopefully that's where they kind of gain that and they realize
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah.
Maybe we
But-
can teach a little of that here, amongst us.
Yeah. But that's so that's where we're at with it, right? We have to get those
Yeah.
kids moving and thinking about other things in the future, and how to set yourself up for success,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
And also learn. You might fall once and then just get back up. You might
Yeah.
fall 2 times.
Yeah.
And get back up.
Absolutely.
But that's how you learn. Just fall a little bit and get back up.
yeah, I always like to say it's getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We all do things that make us uncomfortable, but
Yes.
how do we push past that? At some point, I just got to say, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Right.
And it's going to feel weird inside, like I don't want to be here, but you just have to push through it, right? And it'll get better.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And
You'll
then
get better.
that's how you grow.
Yeah,
And then the next thing, you're like, all right, what's the next uncomfortable thing?
exactly.
It's
right.
like your nephew is like, oh no, I gotta go to Disney
like,
and see Mickey
Right.
Mouse, and then
Oh
he
my
did
God.
that. So now he's
That's
like,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
now what can I do?
Shrek. He was afraid of Shrek. He had a Shrek. He had a Shrek blow up like bouncy house thing that my sister got him, and he would scream whenever he would see it.
Gosh, that's so funny.
And I make fun of him to this day. And I'm like, hey, but he's doing like some really, really tough stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's very cool.
I have to say that
Yeah.
about us because
Yeah.
when we first started, we
Even
were
the
a little
podcast, we're
taken
like,
back,
oh,
a little shy.
I could've-
And
Yeah.
we're getting better. Even with our first podcast, second, I think we're getting better and we're getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
No.
As far as getting comfortable with yourself,
That's good.
I think we're growing, right?
Yeah. We're trying.
So,
Yeah.
just doing our speeches and everything else was hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
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 Well, you executed it perfectly, just so you know. You
Thank
guys kind
you.
of
Oh, good.
you have like a cadence thing going on.
Do we really? I'm
Yeah,
not even
like-
noticing.
I feel
Like
we're
you
just
spoke
so
and you knew
close.
exactly when to jump in. There was like
Oh,
a
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
spacing in between it.
Yeah.
So it kind of it jived well. That was good.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Do you see like with the young Marines, like there's a lot more joining now?
Yeah. So one of the things I'm trying to do with that program is build it to other chapters or other units in the state. And one, because I think there's a lot of kids out there that can benefit from it. I look at the Young Marines like an alternative to the JRTC. So JRTCs are typically in bigger type of towns with more population, populated areas, because you have to meet a certain number of students to be able to qualify to be a JRTC. So you got all those communities that don't necessarily have that, and this will be a great alternative for that. So I want to be able to grow it throughout the state. And then another thing is once units start to build up, then we have competition,
Okay.
right? It's one thing when the kids only compete within themselves,
Right.
but when they can compete with other kids.
Yeah, and then it makes
From
their
other
group
areas.
stronger too.
Yeah.
'Cause then
That's
it makes
good.
their little unit
Yeah.
stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got kids competing not just from within their area, but other areas of kids that from different backgrounds, right, and different lifestyles.
Okay.
And it just
is good.
it lets them learn, right? They have to be able to learn that stuff. So it's like
Do you believe in like everybody's not a winner, right? Everybody needs to deserve that trophy, that medal.
no, we all have the
Everybody.
I look at it this way. Everyone has the right to at least try, but you don't have the right to win all the time, right?
That's good.
Because
good.
I know that becomes, and you can give a kid a positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Well, like, hey, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Right? Let them know, hey,
Do
you just
this
worked a
and
little
this.
harder than
Yeah.
you did.
Right.
You know,
Okay, that's good.
you know what to work on. So, yeah, I don't know. Things have changed.
No, I'm glad.
Things have changed. No, I'm just saying things have changed from, we were all kids.
Yeah.
It's changed, right?
Yeah, it has.
So we can't lose hope on them. We got to
No.
we still have to have hope and hope that they're going to do well, but there's a lot more work having to be
That
done.
needs
more
to be
work,
done. Yeah.
Yes, because again, I think technology, although it's done great for us, because we're able to do stuff like this.
Yes. Right.
But it's also done a disservice as well.
Yes.
In a lot of ways
With
because,
the iPad kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember my weekends, going with my cousins and stuff, it was like, oh, let's go outside and throw the football
Outside.
around.
Yeah.
And
Manhunt.
go seek or
Yeah.
whatever.
Manhunt.
Manhunts,
Yeah.
right? They don't do that.
And your parents are yelling, "Get in the house!"
Yes.
It's
Remember?
Or
dark.
they're telling you, no, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out.
You're not allowed in the house
Well,
until
we weren't
dinner.
allowed to go inside because if the AC was on in the summer,
Yeah,
like,
we
you don't
weren't
get air
allowed.
out.
Open the doors.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't open the
Yep,
door.
that was like that
It's
at my aunt's house.
So she was like, well, you stay outside, and you're gonna stay outside. Once you're coming back inside,
That's
you're staying
it.
inside.
Yeah.
So you'd be burning outside all day
Yeah.
because you didn't want to come back
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah, big
until the light went off, right? So Newark, they had the street lights.
Okay.
When that thing went on, then it was time to go back
Then you
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that technology,
Times were great, I have to say. It was
right?
so
It's
great.
right. I mean, there was a little bit of
was
video games,
fun.
but it was like you were
Yeah.
outside and you were building. Like I remember taking my mother would yell at me because you would take the couches and I put like a sheet over it. You make a little fort.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a fort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that.
Or like the dining room table chairs.
Yeah. And you make
And
a
you
fort.
put like a fort,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or anything you could. Or you
Yep.
stack up pillows and
Yep.
couch cushions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
the
you like
couch
jump
cushion,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do like things that you probably
Yeah.
break your head with. But
And then you
we
make
did
up
those things.
games. Like there's games that
Yeah.
like
Oh my
me and my
God.
cousins we'd make them up, and then to this day we'll be like, remember that game? Like want to go play it. And it's
Go
like
play it
only
now.
we know it. Only
Yeah.
we know the game. But
So-
kids these days miss out on that stuff.
they don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
Hopefully,
so
the future will bring something a little better.
Yeah.
Right?
How do we get back to that? I mean, I don't know. like I
that's
said,
how-
technology
It's
is
the parents. I feel like it's the parents
Yeah.
gotta limit the screen time. Like go outside. Go do
Go
this.
outside. Go
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Go throw a football.
yeah.
Go on your bike.
Yeah.
Parents are busy, and
Yeah.
it's easy to just be like,
Yeah.
stay safe, stay inside,
Right. Yeah.
be on the iPad,
Be
so
on
at
the
least I know
iPad.
where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
true.
know,
And times are different too today.
Yes,
so
times are different.
Back then, they can tell us to go outside, and it's a
Yeah.
little different.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, we'll work on it. I mean, people like us will try to get
We got it. We got it. We
do
got to
something for the future.
get out to the masses, right? And like I said, I think just thinking about stuff like that story of John and bringing it to maybe you've done it already, but like bringing it to schools and
Well,
just
we're working on it.
populations,
Yeah.
right? Different school populations and
Right.
different youth programs and things like that.
That's what we
And
work on.
so they can kind of get an idea, right? So sometimes you have to start somewhere. You got to get that little spark to be like, oh, he did these great, cool things, right? And if once they realize what it is that he's done and the stuff that he's been awarded, like Medal of Honor and Navy Cross, it's like, wow,
Right.
I could potentially be that,
Yeah.
right? Because these kids they're smarter.
Right.
So with technology, they are learning a lot
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
So they're a lot wittier,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
they pick up the information. So we can't play it like that. Oh, we got to, like
You can't trick them
You
as
can't- you-
much.
Yeah.
you can't act like, oh, you gotta be careful what I say because they're gonna hear it. I'm like, they know
They
what
already
you're
know
saying.
it.
They're already ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They know before you even said it.
exactly. So if anything, we have to take that because they already know it and try to,
Right.
mold it in a positive way so that they can
give 'em that.
absorb it the proper way,
Mm-hmm.
and not do bad with it. So yeah, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, I think with your help,
Yeah,
you'll help us also.
absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
down.
I
Yeah.
think so.
You sure? Because now I'm gonna be, hey, I got this. I got
That's
this.
fine. That's fine.
You know?
Like Emma, he called me 10 times.
He's going to
already.
time. I'm gonna be
Past
blowing up
hour.
Emma. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
No, that's
Emma
all
got
right.
this,
That's
this, and
fine.
that. So
Believe us.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
idea with
Yeah.
the ruck for the
Yeah, that was
5K was
awesome.
a really great idea.
Yeah.
It was a great
So,
idea, and we're
We're gonna
that
have
again
it back.
this year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
thank you,
Yeah.
appreciate that. And then also thank you for because remember I showed you the leaf that
Yes.
we put with John's name on it in Felicia University, right?
Okay.
So this can get all over the state. You know, we're a small state, but we're a very populated state.
Yep.
We're a very exposed state. And everybody knowing about this is just, it's great.
Yeah.
And people ask me all
good.
the time when they see it, and they go, oh, who's that? I'm like, well, look it up. Right?
Yeah.
There's a whole thing about it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a whole Wikipedia page
Yep.
and
Yeah.
documentaries and books all about it,
there's
right?
a lot of books, yeah.
So look it up, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh, he's from, you know, that's from New Jersey, right? So that's how I always
good.
like to tie it, right? Bring it back home
Yeah.
is important. So
But good. Well, we want to thank you
Yeah, thank you so
again
much.
for
Thank you.
coming.
Yeah.
thank you so much. I
And,
appreciate it.
I'm sure we're going to hear from you.
Yeah, you're gonna hear from me. You sure? Like I said, you sure?
I'm sure
You're
we
gonna hear
will.
from me. No, I thank you so much, and I look forward to being a part of it as much as possible.
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So because you've marched in the parade before with like the young Marines.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How many years have you been doing that?
What was that one year that we didn't have it because of the?
The rain, the weather.
It was right. It was the cloudy. The cloud wasn't it?
Yeah,
the,
we still had our 5K, but they canceled the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was when
2
the-
years ago.
when it was
2 or
all
3
cloudy,
years
right? When they
ago.
had like the smoke and stuff from like. Was that the one where they had like the
No.
smoke from Canada? That
No,
kind
it
of
was just like a
hazed over?
really
This
bad
was a bad storm.
Yeah, yeah.
And was the
We
only
canceled.
time.
That was
I think-
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
We
that's
didn't
when,
cancel the run. But
Okay.
they did cancel the
Yeah,
parade.
that was 2022 because we had the Marines and the Navy, right? Was it 2021 or 2022?
Oh, that's right. They came here.
It's 2022.
2022. We had Marines from California come.
Yeah.
And then we had Navy, the crew member from the USS Destroyer that was just commissioned.
That was just
like
commissioned. So the whole
last
crew
year or
came
2
out.
years.
Oh, wow.
Because-
They all came out, and we
Yeah.
were like, well, what? They were going to march in the parade. They were going to do the 5K, and then the parade, and we were like, well, what the heck do we do with them now? Because they
We
came.
had all these people here with like
And then the parade got
aliens.
canceled.
Yeah.
So we still had the run. We were like, we're not going to cancel the run because
Yeah.
then they just came for no reason.
Yeah, they had to do
so
something.
But they loved it. The run was in
Oh,
the
they were
rain,
in
the
awe.
wind.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
they loved
Yeah.
it.
And they
But
loved
it
just
was that
walking around the
year.
town. They said just walking
Yeah.
around the town was great just to learn some of the history.
No, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
No, that's great. What were we gonna say?
Marching in the parade.
Marching. Yeah, yeah. So we did that. It's been about 4 years.
Okay.
I've probably done it with them about 4 years, except that 1 year that they didn't
Yeah.
have it.
See, and that's crazy
Yeah.
because we've been parade at the same time, and I
never-
didn't even know you.
Yeah, yeah, I
at
know
the
you.
time.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Who would've
right?
thought, right?
Small
So, and then the 5K, I've done it myself a couple of years ago.
Okay.
I know I've done it consecutive, maybe about 3 years, but there was maybe a couple of year gap, and then I did it at some time before that.
All right, so
Okay.
quick question
Right,
about
yes.
the run.
Yes.
What do you think of it? What do you think of the trail, of the whole thing?
To me, I mean, given my shape now, I think it sucks because I can't run that 5K. I'm like
Okay, well,
tired.
when you were in shape.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's great. I think 5K is good, right?
I'm saying the whole course,
the
route?
route that
the
we take.
route that we take.
I like it. I mean, it goes
Okay.
right through the neighborhoods.
Right.
Right. So people see you. Yeah. I mean, it's you
And it
can't
passes
complain.
some of the history of
Yeah.
John.
And you absolutely.
Yeah.
And you gotta and you gotta only be you gotta make it a reasonable enough route that's not gonna interrupt everything else that's going on in town, right? Because
Yeah.
you gotta keep that into account.
Well, yeah, we
Traffic and
we
things
get,
like that.
We get a lot of pushback
do.
on
Yes,
that.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
You know,
I mean,
we try to shut down the roads as little as possible.
Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah.
understand, but people also, if they could understand, it's an hour and a half.
one time a
just
year.
One time a
Yeah.
year,
Right.
and what these people gave up
Yeah.
for us, I think we can give up an hour and a half
Yeah.
of road closures.
Well, I guess 2 days a year,
Yeah.
right? Because it's that weekend.
Oh yeah, the
You
parade.
always-
Yeah.
So you got to do
Yes.
the parade too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd be pissed off for a little bit. Who
Yeah.
cares, right? Move on.
Right.
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 So
But
no,
look what
no.
they gave up.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And it's
that's-
just
yeah.
and it brings people together. It brings the community together.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
and
something for
Yeah.
the town.
That's the point of this stuff. It brings kids and the community and people from town, and
There
it's
you
like,
go.
hey, it shows exposure to where you grew up, and it brings you pride to where
Yeah.
you're at.
I think the town is proud to have this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, what town
Yeah.
has this? It's the only parade.
It's the only
I think
parade.
it's the only parade in the country, that
country.
honors like a Marine.
Yeah.
That's an annual parade.
Right.
Yeah, it's the only one in the country.
Really?
Yep.
So-
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should
And
be a
it's-
proud moment.
And it's huge, right?
Yeah.
We got
it
people
goes
from
on.
all over that
all
come.
over
Really?
that come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All over.
So I wonder what see, I'm always like, what's the next thing for that?
See, that's why we need
Where you
you.
gonna bring that?
That's why we
Yeah.
need you.
You know? Because you don't want to, you got to like do it at pieces, in pieces.
Yeah.
You can't give too much.
No.
You can't do too much too quick. Right? So from 5K, what's the next thing? I mean,
What is our
you got it. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
5K, you got the Ruck March part of
We
it.
really want to try and get a children's book out.
Some kind of book, a movie.
Yeah. Movie.
A movie would be great.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't
Like a-
shouted
'cause-
out. Put a movie.
biographical type of movie, like you get someone to play John
Yeah.
and go through his whole story.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
the Pacific is just his time in the Marine
Yeah.
Corps. There's when he was a little boy,
Right.
the
Yeah.
Army, and then
His family,
you know,
his everything.
yeah. Because then I think like younger kids will be able to
Right.
relate to him more of a level
Oh, that's
because
huge.
they see
As
him
a young
growing
kid.
up
Yeah.
Yeah.
from a
young
young
boy.
kid to all the way up to this. But
So shout out to
That's-
we need you know filmmakers. To
No,
some
you need-
reach
that's
out
a-
to us.
That's a huge. I mean,
Yeah,
I think given that, again, given John and his caliber, that's like a big Hollywood type of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, it has
because if you think about any
potential.
other movie that has to do with war, think about the directors that do that type of stuff, or even ones that do anything to do with like being a Medal of Honor recipient.
Right.
Those are huge, right? So the only way I can think of is
so if
the
you're
one that Mel
listening-
Gibson did.
Yes. yeah.
Damon Doss. He's an Army guy, medic,
Okay.
and he won the Medal of Honor. Remember, because he saved all those people from I can't remember the name of that. Something with Hill, and he saved all those people. And he was conscientious objector, right? So he was
Oh, I know
religious,
this.
and he didn't want to
Yeah.
carry a gun.
Yeah.
But he still saved all those people.
Yeah.
Absent of having a gun,
Yeah.
which is crazy to think about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And
was a
Mel
good
Gibson
story. So Mel
directed that.
Gibson.
Well,
the story-
if
So
anyone
Mel
knows
Gibson.
Mel
The story's
Gibson,
huge.
The story's already there. It's not
story's
like they even
huge.
have to embellish it or anything.
Yeah.
It's already
We
there.
got
It
the
is
whole
already
story.
there.
We got the whole script.
Oh, that's huge,
Yeah.
You
right?
just need someone to play him and
write the script.
write the script.
Do you have someone you guys ever thought of do you ever guys think about like you look at people in Hollywood and actors that look a lot like him?
Well, we were happy
ever thought
with
about
John
that?
Cena.
Well, John Cena's an
Cena was
option.
He did a good job.
And
John Cena's
shout
an
out
option.
John Cena again. We're trying to get him on the podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Trying to get him on the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if
Good.
he's listening,
Yeah.
Good.
would be
No,
good.
you should. Yeah.
And he's from Clifton.
yeah.
Is he from Clifton?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Clifton.
Oh, then we just show up to his house.
No, I don't think he lives there anymore.
Just going
Well, he's
knock
got
on his-
family there.
I went to community college with his sister-in-law.
Oh, yeah?
I had like a forensics class.
Yeah.
And we were doing like icebreakers.
Oh, right.
And she goes, my brother-in-law like works for like the TV show Chicago PD. And I was like, oh, maybe he's like a cameraman or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
no, he's an
And then I do my fun fact or my icebreaker, and I'm like, oh, I'm related to like John Basilone, whatever. She turns around, she goes, my brother-in-law played him. And I was like, what?
Oh,
Because
wow.
I thought that I didn't
Yeah, yeah, you
expect
just thought
that.
someone in
Yeah,
the
and I was like,
background.
no
Yeah.
way, small world. But, they're from Clifton. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I'm saying there's family still there.
Yeah,
You
there
go knock on
definitely is.
some-
Yeah,
Like, give me his number
yeah,
now.
give me
Let's
his
go.
number. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. No, I think that would be great. I mean, you could definitely get someone
Oh, somebody
top level
would
there.
love to
Like,
play
you know,
him.
those
Come on.
big Hollywood actors.
Yeah.
I mean, directors,
Yeah.
Yeah.
producers, and stuff like that.
Well,
yeah.
we'll
Just
see
need
after this
contact
podcast.
info.
Yeah. You got to get this stuff out.
See,
yeah.
this is good.
It's
We
very
need
good.
you.
Very exciting.
Very
oh
good.
my God.
Very good.
Very exciting. You guys are going to be
This was good.
pissed off with me.
No, all
This guy's
good things.
annoying.
All good things.
No, good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you for coming on.
Thank
been
you.
great.
Thank you so much
This
for
was a
having
good
me. I look forward to, again, we're doing good things and
We'll probably talk to you in about an hour.
yeah. Have me back as many times as you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Sounds good.
I
Yeah.
will love it.
All right.
No, we
Thank
definitely
you.
Thank
will.
you.
Thanks.